is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
In the headlines, we begin with the pivotal shift in the Middle East conflict. U.S. Central Command released videos of operations near the Strait of Hormuz, declaring Iranian naval forces combat ineffective. The White House says the 11-day standoff may be reaching a turning point. While Washington claims gains at sea, thousands have rallied in Iran. Residents in Karaj braved heavy rain to pledge loyalty to the new supreme leader, Mujtaba Khamenei. The mass gathering signals defiance as the conflict enters its 12th day. Beyond the front lines, Ukraine is sending military experts to the Gulf. President Zelensky dispatched teams to help with drone and missile defense, even as 2 EU members accuse Kyiv of cutting off their oil supplies. From the Gulf to Eastern Europe, Russia is claiming new territorial gains. Vladimir Putin said Ukraine now holds only 15% of the Donetsk People's Republic. The Kremlin claims Kyiv's defenses are collapsing as Russian forces advance. Back home, global turmoil is hitting the south. Davos City residents are grappling with sharp oil price hikes linked to the Middle East crisis. Local leaders are urging national intervention. Meanwhile, a billion peso corruption complaint has been filed at the Ombudsman. Representative Leody Tariela of Occidental Mindoro is accused of overseeing substandard infrastructure projects worth billions. And finally, the K-pop world is reeling from a shock exit. Hypen member Lee Hae-sung has announced he is leaving the group, sparking widespread speculation as the group continues its global tour. I'm Andrea Santos. Newsline World starts now. First in our news, the United States Central Command has released compelling video evidence of its naval offensive near the Strait of Hormuz, marking a potential turning point in the 11-day conflict. With the White House officially declaring Tehran's naval forces combat ineffective, the Trump administration is signaling that the threat to global shipping is rapidly diminishing. Almar Forsuelo has the latest.
CENTCOM made public a series of strikes targeting Iranian naval assets as part of Operation Epic Fury. The footage released Wednesday via social media shows high-precision hits on vessels purportedly belonging to the Islamic Republic's Navy and Revolutionary Guard's Maritime Wing. Military officials claim the operation has successfully degraded Tehran's ability to harass international shipping or project power in the Persian Gulf. Among the targets destroyed were 16 mine layers, which U.S. intelligence identified as the primary threat to the already strained global oil supply.
And the Iranian Navy has been assessed as combat ineffective. The trend is clear. U.S. combat capabilities are increasing and growing more lethal and dominant by the day, while the Iranian terrorist regime's ability to respond has rapidly declined. Last night, President Trump reiterated his commitment toward keeping oil flowing through the Strait of Hormuz so the United States and all of our allies can receive their energy needs.
President Donald Trump was even more direct in his assessment, claiming that more than 50 Iranian naval ships have been destroyed since the joint U.S.-Israeli operation began on February 28th. This massive maritime degradation comes just days after the appointment of Mujtaba Khamenei as the new supreme leader, a leader the president has already warned will not stay for long without American consent. While the exact time and location of the strikes in the CENTCOM video remain unverified, the strategic message is clear. The U.S. intends to reopen the world's most vital energy artery by force. Despite Tehran's initial retaliatory drone and missile swarms, the White House maintains that the regime's maritime zone of immunity has been effectively dismantled. Reporting for Newsline World, Almar Forsuelo, SMNI News.
The streets of Karaj became a show of defiance as thousands of residents braved torrential rain to pledge allegiance to new Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei. The mass rally comes amid threats from Trump administration signaling hardening national resolve as the conflict enters its 12th day. Joy Tabanao reports.
Through rain-soaked streets, crowds in Karaj marched in support of Iran's new leadership. On Tuesday night, demonstrators were chanting against the United States and Israel as the downpour continued. The rally comes just 48 hours after Iran's Assembly of Experts named Mojtaba Khamenei as successor to his father, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who was killed in the opening strikes of Operation Roaring Lion on February 28. The scenes reflect a nation on a war footing, despite reported damage to Iran's navy and missile infrastructure by U.S. Central Command. The regime's core supporters remain openly defiant. Many protesters also responded to remarks by U.S. President Donald Trump, who recently claimed the younger Khamenei would not stay for long without American approval. As the joint U.S.-Israeli campaign continues targeting airfields and missile sites across Iran, state-backed rallies like the one in Karaj are being used to project strength and unity. With Mojtaba Khamenei now leading the Islamic Republic, the transition appears to favor a hardline posture of resistance. As the conflict moves deeper into its second week, the defiant scene in Karaj suggests diplomacy remains distant. This has been Joy Tabanao, your global citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has dispatched a team of military experts to the Gulf region to help protect against Iranian drone and missile attacks, even as Ukraine faces accusations from the two European Union's members of deliberately cutting off their oil supply. Paul Montebon reports.
President Vladimir Zelensky framed the deployment as a natural extension of Ukraine's battlefield expertise, saying Ukraine has more experience countering attack drones than anyone else in the world.
Шановні українці, українки, коротко про цей день. Зараз наша команда – це і військові, і Рустем Умєров на шляху в регіон Затоки, де наші хлопці можуть допомогти захисту життя та стабілізації ситуації.
Zelensky described Iran's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz as a significant destabilization of global oil and gas routes and warned that without Ukraine's experience, the Gulf region and its Western partners would struggle to build an effective defense.
Це значна дестабілізація. Ніхто у світі поки не здатен сказати, скільки все це триватиме. Але важливо, щоб захист життя реально запрацював якнайшвидше. Стабільність потрібна.
But the announcement landed awkwardly. Coming on the same day, Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico directly accused Zelensky of sabotaging the Druzhba pipeline, which carries Russian oil to Hungary and Slovakia through Ukrainian territory. Fico said he showed the president of the European Commission satellite images confirming that the Druzhba pipeline on Ukrainian territory is not damaged and that it is therefore a deliberate, unilateral decision by Ukrainian President Zelensky to stop the oil flows and thereby harm Slovakia, just as Zelensky has already harmed the country regarding gas itself. Kiev maintains the pipeline was damaged in a Russian attack, a claim Moscow rejects. Hungary and Slovakia say the evidence tells a different story. Zelensky also used the occasion to push back against U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement that Washington would lift certain oil-related sanctions on Russia amid the Iran war, warning against any move that would ease pressure on Moscow.
Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Paul Montebon, SMNA News.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says Ukraine's hold on the Donetsk People's Republic has shrunk dramatically, with Kiev now controlling as little as 15% of the region. Carlo de la Peña has the details.
President Vladimir Putin made the assessment during a meeting with DPR leader Denis Pushilin at the Kremlin on Tuesday, noting the territory under Kiev's control had fallen by nearly 10 percentage points in just 6 months.
Считали, что под контролем киевских властей находится около 25% территории Донецкой Народной Республики. Это буквально полгода назад. Сейчас, по вашим оценкам, сколько находится под контролем киевского режима.
Pushilin confirmed the figures and said the focus had shifted beyond battlefield gains to rebuilding what was taken. He cited progress in water supply, power restoration, and the return of residents to reclaimed areas including Avdiivka.
Находятся также самые люди разных народностей на стройплощадках вместе. Да что там говорить, даже в аварийных бригадах, вот один из наших сложных вопросов, вопрос водоснабжения, и то, тем не менее, мы видим, что в непростых условиях, вот, перед Новым годом успели, вернули электричество. Все, людей уже за этот период, там уже проживало более 1000 человек, сейчас еще 260 человек предварительно сейчас уже вернулись в Авдеевке также.
Russia's defense ministry says its center group of forces continues to push deeper into the DPR, with active fighting reported nearly more than a dozen settlements, including Dobropolye and Grishino. The DPR, along with the Lugansk People's Republic and the regions of Kherson and Zaporozhye, were annexed by Russia in 2022, following referenda that Moscow says reflected the will of local populations. Ukraine and its Western allies condemned the move as an illegal land grab. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña, SMNI News.
In the Philippines, global turmoil is hitting the South. Davao City residents are grappling with sharp oil price hikes linked to the Middle East crisis. Local leaders are urging national intervention. A billion-peso corruption complaint has been filed at the Ombudsman. Representative Leody Tariela of Occidental Mindoro is accused of overseeing substandard infrastructure projects worth billions. More news when Newsline World returns.
Isang pindot lang, pwede kang maka-jackpot. Mukhang masaya at easy money lang. Sa murang halaga, pwede ka na tumaya sa online gambling at e-casino apps. Mayroong sabong, slot machines, mahjong, poker at iba pa. Kailangan mo lang ng smartphone, e-wallet at internet. Pero ang aliw na ito, unti-unting nagiging bitag para sa mga Pilipino. Lalo na kung ang paborito mong artista o influencer ang mukha ng app. Mas madaling makaengganyo, diba? Parang safe naman kasi may kilalang mukha. Pero sa likod ng ngiti, sugal pa rin ang itinutulak. At syempre, mas madaling itago ang pagkalulong sa bisyong ito. Walang pisikal na kasino o pasugal. Walang kaharap, walang accountability, kaya't mas lumalala ang adiksyon. Dagdag pa rito, maraming online gambling apps at walang regulasyon. Sa likod ng mga makukulay na interface at papremyo, nakatago ang problemang bumabalot ngayon sa bansa. Ang pagkalulong ng maraming Pilipino sa online gambling. Pwede maglaro kahit saan, kahit kailan, kahit sino, bata man o matanda, pwedeng malulong. Ayon sa mga eksperto, ang pagkakalulong sa online gambling ay nagdudulot ng matinding stress at anxiety, pagkakabaon sa utang, pagkawasak ng pamilya, pagkawala ng tiwala sa sarili. At tulad ng ibang bisyo, may mga senyales ito tulad ng hindi makapagpigil kahit walang pera, palihim na tumataya, pagpapabaya sa trabaho, pamilya o sarili. Sa bawat taya, may mga taong tunay na kumikita, mga malalaking negosyante at investors na negosyo ang bisyo ng masa. Para sa kanila, perang pumapasok lang ito. Pero para sa ordinaryong Pilipino, kabuhayan at relasyon ang nauubos. At ang masakit, tila matagal itong nahayaan. Hindi ito naging prioridad ng mga nakaupo sa taas hanggang sa sobrang lumala at halos naapektuhan na ang buong komunidad. Ngayon, sa dami ng nalulong at sa laki ng pinsalang naidulot, saka palalong umugong ang mga panukalang batas para higpitan ng online gambling, gaya ng pagbabawal sa paggamit ng e-wallets para tumaya, pagtaas ng minimum bet, mas mahigpit na identity verification, pag-block ng mga illegal na gambling sites, at bawasan o ipagbawal ang mga ads na target ang kabataan. Maaari itong magmukhang laro lang, pero sa katotohanan, isa itong sugal sa kinabukasan. Ang kita na dapat sa mga pangunahing pangangailangan o ipon na uubos sa sugal. At sa mundo ng online gambling, mas madali kang matalo kaysa manalo. Huwag hayaang sugal ang magdikta sa iyong buhay. Isang paalala mula sa SMNI.
Every day begins with a choice: to stay down or to rise and chase the dream. For athletes, success is not built overnight. It is shaped in silence long before the crowd arrives.
When you become an athlete in any sport events like boxing, any kind of gymnastics or any kind of triathlon, ganon. You are a runner, you are a marathoner, you are a boxer, you are an Olympic athlete. There's a lot of restrictions compared to a regular person who is not involved in any kind of kind of sports.
Restrictions are not punishment. They are preparation.
For the athlete, it's nothing. It's their lifestyle. For the regular jando outside looking at you, parang naawa sila eh. Yung pagkain mo, puro healthy. It needs a lot of discipline for an athlete in a competition.
The same is true in the spiritual life. The way is not wide. It is not easy. It is narrow.
So, Jesus Christ also mentioned that in a very vivid statement when he said, the way to life is very narrow and very strict and very small.
89 kilograms, please.
What the world calls restriction, the faithful call obedience.
For us, there is no restrictions. That is so restricted enough that we cannot do it. And when it becomes our lifestyle, it's nothing. It's regular for us. Regular for us to be clean-minded, regular for us to be orderly, regular for us to be straightforward. Obedience, commitment, loyalty, dedication, repented in the sight of the Father.
Because this life is a race.
Are we in this life in a competition? Yes, very much. Because Paul said that also. They that run in a race run all, but one receives the prize.
Not everyone who runs wins. Only those who endure.
In order for you to be in a race, you have to be disciplined. So the kingdom nation's citizenship is a disciplined citizenship.
Run the race. Choose the narrow way. Live the disciplined life. Because the prize is eternal.
Back, the Embassy of Malaysia in the Philippines served their traditional bubur lambok, a dish reflecting the culture and unity of the two nations. At the same time, they highlighted the importance of the Philippines as one of Malaysia's major tourism partner in Southeast Asia. Angel Pastor reports.
As part of the Ramadan celebration, the Malaysian Embassy in the Philippines prepared their well-known traditional dish, bubur lambok. Bubur lambok is a type of porridge commonly cooked in Malaysia during Ramadan, similar to Filipino lugaw. The embassy chef, together with staff, prepared the dish at the official residence of Malaysia in Makati, demonstrating the traditional cooking process of bubur lambok.
We start with the cutting the process, and then we start cook at 8 a.m. and then the process took around 3 hours. The ingredient we use same as lugaw Filipino porridge, rice porridge. We use sibuyas, bawang, tanglad, and and then daun pandan, asin, correct. And then for the aromatic we use pandan and kincai and wanso, yeah. And we use also jasmine rice for the congee, yeah, and then coconut milk.
According to Malaysian Ambassador Dato Abdul Malik Melvin Castellino, preparing bubur lambok is not just about cooking, it is a symbol of community unity.
The way bubur lambok is prepared is actually a community affair where we bring together all our friends and communities in a certain area and to cook this delicious broth and then to distribute it to our friends, families, and of course our colleagues in that community.
The ambassador added that activities like this strengthen understanding, respect, and peace between Malaysia and the Philippines.
It is a truly cultural exercise, born in the understanding of mutual understanding, respect, tolerance, and of course peaceful coexistence. And I hope for this month of Ramadan that this spirit of peace, understanding, reflection, and of course the act of helping those who are marginalized and those.
Aside from bubur lambok, the Malaysian Embassy also carries out various activities this Ramadan, including corporate social responsibility initiatives for communities and schools in the Philippines. The prepared bubur lambok was shared with various government offices, including President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., cabinet secretaries, members of the diplomatic corps, and other friends of Malaysia. Meanwhile, Malaysian Tourism Attaché and Director Maud Faisal Sharif emphasized the importance of tourism ties between Malaysia and the Philippines, including the exchange of culture, food, and experiences.
In terms of tourism, it's not only tourism but also in terms of culture. We can promote more, introduce more food. For example, food, we mean tourism gastronomy, introduction of Philippine food delicacies in Malaysia, and also Malaysian food promotion in the Philippines.
He also highlighted the importance of the Philippines as a key tourism partner of Malaysia.
In terms of overall tourist arrival in Malaysia, Philippines ranked number 7. That's how important Philippines to Malaysian market. Even though we have a major market like Singapore, Thailand, China, and India, but Philippines remain our important partner in the Southeast Asian region.
He encouraged Filipinos to visit Malaysia this year due to numerous events, travel packages, affordable airfare, and tourist discounts. Malaysian tourism officials also announced the upcoming Philippine-Malaysia Culinary Exchange at the end of April. The event will feature a Malaysian food promotion at Soler Resort Entertainment City, introducing traditional Malaysian cuisine to Filipinos. Simultaneously, a Filipino food promotion will be held in Malaysia to showcase and promote Filipino cuisine and delicacies to Malaysian market. For God and my beloved Philippines, Angel Pastor, SMNI News.
Residents of Davao City are also feeling the impact of the massive oil price hike caused by tensions in the Middle East. Some local officials in the city are now appealing to the national government. MJ Mondejar reports.
Businessman Gerald had no choice but to refuel at a gasoline station here in Davao City. His usual 500 peso diesel budget is no longer enough due to huge increase in fuel prices.
10. Karon nga na yung price increase? Naana yata din sa mga 6. Dako oy. Dako kabahak. Dako yun sir. Almost 40% na nawala sa mo.
The two drivers, Rafael and Roel, feared they might no longer be able to afford rice because of the high price of gasoline.
Kunhod jud ang income namo. Labi na say nga dili pud kayo kuan ang biyahe.
Pasero wala kayo ni na kayo. Ya pasero igolay to among kuan raw namo October ra gyud. Ang 1 taon na mo kuan.
Residents are now calling on the government to temporarily suspend the taxes on oil.
Tungod sa ilang mga binuhatan, ni-increase gyud atong mga palitonon ug atong mga krudo. Sila po nung mangitag paraan para mo lesser pero dili maglisod ang mga Pilipino.
This is also the sentiment of some councillors here in Davao.
Yeah, to Congress and to the Senate, tanggalin nyo na lahat yung mga taxes sa gasolina.
For the meantime.
For the meantime. Siguro, ipatuloy yung investigasyon ng mga ghost project para ibalik yung mga pera pa. Diba?
According to the chairman of the city's Committee on Energy, Councilor Bunguyad, they cannot pass an ordinance to suspend the train law. The train law imposes a tax on 10 pesos per liter on gasoline, 6 pesos on crude oil or diesel, and 5 pesos per liter on kerosene.
Can the City Council override train law?
No, we cannot because it is a national law. No, it is conflict if we pass an ordinance that contradict the national law. So, what we can do is urging the Congress and the Senate, maybe they can temporarily cut off the excise tax.
In Davao, officials also want to strengthen the use of e-vehicles as an alternative to vehicles that run on oil.
In the city of Davao, the mayor encourages the use of electric vehicles. At least kahit ito kuryente compared to fuel. And of course, we have to check the hoarding of goods.
Meanwhile, according to Malacanang, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. will wait first on the committee report of Congress on the proposed bill seeking to grant them emergency powers to reduce the excise tax on oil before certifying them as urgent. The Davao City Council is also open to inviting the Department of Energy in the region to explain the situation.
Yeah, we can also do that in aid of legislation that maybe request the presence of DOA, what are their plans, sa mga nangyayari ngayon, anong plano nila, not only now, but their future plans.
Reporting for Newsline World, this has been MJ Mondeha, SMNA News.
Meanwhile, a formal complaint has been filed at the office of the Ombudsman against Occidental Mindoro Lone District Representative Leody Tariela. This is in connection with allegedly substandard projects in the province valued at billions of pesos. Kai Velan reports.
Accompanied by a formal complaint affidavit, Redomeline Cardoza, a radio reporter from San Jose Occidental Mindoro, filed a case before the office of the Ombudsman. The complaint targets Representative Leody Tariela over alleged irregularities in provincial infrastructure projects, valued at an estimated 3.2 billion pesos. Among the works cited as substandard are the 193 million peso San Jose Public Market and several flood control systems within the district.
So ito siguro ay matagal din na hinihintay ng aming mga kalalawigan na muli itong mapag-usapan at maimbestigahan ng Ombudsman at dapat managot siguro ang dapat managot dahil kami man ay naghihintay din. Naghihintay din kami ng kasagutan sa aming po mga kalalawigan ng Occidental Mindoro.
According to Cardoza, his legal action stems from allegations that surfaced during a Senate hearing where the lawmaker's name was implicated. While he admits they currently lack direct evidence of bribery, they are calling on the Office of the Ombudsman to scrutinize data from the Department of Public Works and Highways and conduct a thorough inspection of the actual state of the structures within the province.
Kasi nabanggit nila dito yung ikangay tumanggap yung aming mahal na congressman ng pera sa kanila. Bagamat kami man ay hindi namin o wala kaming katibayan doon sa sinasabi ng Diskaya. Ngunit kaya ako naririto dahil halos mag-iisang taon na po itong issue sa aming mahal na lalawigan.
The complainant also called upon Congressman Tariela to break his silence and directly address the accusations for the peace of mind of the taxpayers in the province. Meanwhile, SMNI remains open to receiving a statement from Representative Leody Tariela regarding this matter. Reporting for Newsline World, Kai Vilan, SMNA News.
Senator Win Gatchalian has proposed the utilization of the multi-billion peso National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Fund, commonly known as the Calamity Fund, to provide financial aid amidst the surging prices of petroleum products. Joy Tabanao reports.
During the Senate Committee on Finance hearing this Tuesday, Committee Chairman Senator Sherwin Gatchalian highlighted that certain agency funds could be utilized as subsidies amidst the rising prices of petroleum products. Gatchalian noted that the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management or NDRRMC Calamity Fund currently stands at approximately 39 billion pesos, while the contingency fund amounts to between 13 billion pesos and 14 billion pesos.
We can interpret this as a man-made calamity
at ang spillover niya ay dito sa Pilipinas, sa bansa natin. At under the law, pwede rin kasi doon economic disruptions.
The Department of Budget and Management, or DBM, expressed concurrency with the lawmakers' proposal. However, Gatchalian clarified that before this can be implemented, a clear definition of an economic calamity must first be established. Such a measure can only be considered if the government declares a state of calamity or a national emergency across the country due to the oil crisis.
Wala tayong experience na nag-declare tayo ng state of calamity because of elevated petroleum products or petroleum prices. Pero possible siya, no? Because pag titignan natin yung batas, yung economic impact on daily lives kasama doon sa considered disruption in our daily economic activities, no? So, I think dapat mapag-aralan mabuti kung ano bang, what point natin pwedeng sabihin na meron ng calamity tayo because of this oil prices, no? Ang punto ko lang is may access tayo sa pondo.
Gatchalian added that the matter must be deliberated upon by economic managers and senators to expedite the release of funds. This aims to provide immediate assistance to the sectors most severely impacted by the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Currently, the staggered or gradual implementation of significant oil price hikes has already taken effect across the country. This has been Joy Cabinal, your citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
When we return, the K-pop world is reeling from a shock exit, and Hypen member Lee Hye-sung has announced he is leaving the group, sparking widespread speculation as the group continues its global tour. More news after the break.
Madalas ka bang napapasobra sa pag-scroll sa phone mo kahit puro masasamang balita ang nakikita mo? Isipin mo ito. Nakahiga ka na sa kama, nagche-check lang ng phone bago matulog. Tapos, hindi mo na malayan, ilang oras ka na palang nagbabasa at nanonood ng mga balita tungkol sa digmaan, sakuna, politika, at lahat ng masasamang nangyayari sa mundo. Nakakaramdam ka na ng kaba at pagod, pero tuloy mo pa rin ang scroll mo. Ang tawag dyan ay doom scrolling. Ito ang habit ng paulit-ulit na pagtingin sa mga negatibo o nakakadepress na content tulad ng digmaan, krimen o problema sa mundo. Nakaka-stress pero hindi mo pa rin mapigilan. Ayon sa isang pag-aaral ng Texas Tech University, ang sobrang konsumo ng masasamang balita ay nauugnay sa pagtaas ng stress, anxiety at pisikal na sintomas gaya ng pagkapagod at sakit ng ulo. Ayon naman sa Harvard Health, ang doom scrolling ay nagpapataas ng fight or flight hormones tulad ng cortisol at adrenaline na nakakapagpabigat ng isip at katawan. Nakakaapekto ito sa iyong mood, tulog at maging sa mental at physical health mo. At kapag naman puro memes at random na content ang pinapanood mo ng sunod-sunod hanggang sa mawalan ka na ng gana na mag-isip at gumawa ng iba pang gawain, ang tawag naman dyan ay brain rot. Sa Gen Z at tinatawag na internet culture, ang brain rot ay overconsumption o sobrang tagal na panonood ng paulit-ulit, mababaw, magulo o walang saysay na content online hanggang sa parang manhid na ang utak mo. Kapag nasobrahan, syempre, nakakasama. Nawawalan ka na ng focus, nawawala ang motivation, hirap mag-isip ng malalim, parang lutang o foggy ang utak. Masaya sa simula, pero kapag sobra, napapagod ang isip mo. Nahihirapang mag-concentrate at parang lutang. Mas delikado pa ito sa mga bata dahil ang utak nila ay nasa proseso pa ng pag-develop. Kaya mas malakas ang epekto ng doom scrolling at brain rot sa kanila. Maaaring makaapekto sa pag-aaral, pag-iisip at pakikitungo sa iba. ang higit sa 4 na oras ng screen time araw-araw sa mga kabataan ay konektado sa 35 to 88% na mas mataas na posibilidad ng depresyon, anxiety at stress. Base ito sa isang malawakang pag-aaral sa Brazil. Kaya, maging balanse, magpahinga sa screen, magbasa, makipagkwentuhan, magdasal, maging present lagi. Alagaan ang iyong isipan. Kung anong itinatanim sa isipan mo, yun ang lalago.
As Cuba grapples with the severe energy crisis and heightened U.S. sanctions, an innovative urban agriculture project in Havana is turning to revolutionary architecture to feed the city. The En Paralelo initiative is constructing the nation's first wooden geodesic dome to cultivate high-nutrient micro-vegetables, offering a sustainable pathway to food security in a volatile region. Jane Codita has the story.
In a quiet corner of Havana, a unique wooden structure is rising as a symbol of Cuban resilience. Olisque Fabre, founder of the En Paralelo project, is building the country's first wooden geodesic dome greenhouse. The design is intentional, engineered to optimize growing conditions while requiring minimal resources, a critical factor as the island faces a worsening humanitarian situation. The project focuses on micro-vegetables, edible plants harvested at an early stage that contain up to 40 times the nutrients of their mature counterparts. Born out of the COVID-19 pandemic, the initiative has now evolved into a vital research hub for urban nutrition.
Bueno, estamos en un contexto de crisis. Siempre decimos que los contextos de crisis son buenos a veces para los emprendimientos por esa capacidad que hay que tener de resiliencia, ¿no? Pero sí, evidentemente hoy la crisis energética nos está afectando mucho.
The crisis is more than just a lack of fuel. It is a logistical nightmare. The recent U.S. tariffs on Cuba's oil suppliers have triggered a total collapse of the traditional distribution network. To adapt, En Paralelo delivers its produce live in containers using electric vehicles. But even this requires a strategic charging hunt amid frequent power outages. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization notes that the oil embargo is paralyzing traditional machinery, making localized, efficient urban farming like this dome project the only viable alternative for many communities.
Nos interesa por el valor nutricional de estos alimentos, tenemos una línea abierta de investigación también, de estudios, donde nos interesa la parte de la nutrición urbana, de cómo se alimentan las comunidades. Entonces procesos productivos muy cortos, 1 semana, 3 semanas, alto valor nutricional. Y de ahí fue entonces en el balcón de una casa en 5 metros cuadrados fue que empezamos a desarrollar esta idea que se convirtió en emprendimiento, se convirtió en empresa y con esa idea de responsabilidad social se convirtió en un espacio para fortalecer capacidades en las comunidades.
Recognized by the World Food Program as one of the most innovative solutions to hunger in the Caribbean, En Paralelo is now scaling its operations. With sanctions causing an estimated $7.5 billion in losses over the last year, these micro-vegetables are more than just a culinary trend. They are a high-speed, low-energy solution to a nation under siege. This has been Jane Codita, Global Citizen Correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Families in Hong Kong gathered at Tai Kwun to enjoy a rare and playful interaction or attraction as Shetland ponies took center stage in a special parade event. Daniela Paulite has the story.
Visitors flocked to the historic venue of Tai Kwun to see the small but charming ponies up close, with many stopping to take photos and watch the animals interact with the crowd. Children and parents alike appeared delighted as the ponies calmly greeted curious onlookers during the family-friendly showcase.
比我想象中乖嘅，因為其實我知即係馬其實一般都係好活潑，會周圍跑嘅。咁但係我見佢今日都幾淡定咯，同埋即係佢都唔怕生保咁樣，好搞笑。
The event offered visitors a rare opportunity to see the miniature horses in person, something many said they have only previously seen in photos or videos.
我啱啱同養隻馬仔影相，跟住同埋摸咗佢咯，好得意嘅。因為之前其實都好少機會去見 Pony 啦，跟住今日有次，即係今日呢個機會好難得，所以我就約咗我媽咪過嚟同佢一齊影相。
Organizers say the Pony Parade aims to create a fun and memorable experience for families, which bringing a touch of countryside charm to the busy city center. Reporting for Newsline World, Daniela Polita, SMNI News.
Meanwhile, fans of K-pop group ENHYPEN were left stunned after member Lee Hee-sung announced his sudden departure from the group. Meanwhile, Jennie Kim is pushing back against what her agency calls harmful speculation online, warning that legal action may be taken over malicious posts. Carla Abellana tells us more.
Fans around the world were shocked after Hee-sung announced his sudden departure. In an Instagram post, he personally shared his thoughts and plans for a solo career through a heartfelt handwritten letter. The agency also reaffirmed its commitment to supporting the remaining members as they continue their activities. Lee Hee-sung first gained attention before his debut through the survival show Island, where he impressed judges and fellow trainees with his standout performances. Following the show, Hee-sung debuted as a member of ENHYPEN, becoming known for his strong vocals, stage presence, and leadership within the group. In an official statement, Belief Lab confirmed that ENHYPEN will continue a 6-member group composed of Jae, Sunghon, Suno, Jungwon, and Nikki. The agency reaffirmed its commitment to supporting the remaining members as they continue their activities. A clip that sparked speculation online prompted Jennie Kim's agency, Odd Atelier, to release a statement addressing what it described as harmful and misleading commentary. The agency said some online posts were spreading unfounded claims aimed at damaging the reputation of the Blackpink member. Odd Atelier added that it is closely monitoring the situation and will take firm legal action against those responsible for defamatory or malicious content. The statement also urged fans and public to refrain from spreading rumors or engaging in online harassment. Jennie, one of the most recognizable figures in K-pop, continues to maintain a strong global fan base while pursuing both music and solo activities. And that's all for now. This is Carla Abellana, bringing you the latest showbiz buzz.
World silver medalist Kate O'Connor will lead a strong Irish squad at the World Athletics Indoor Championships in Poland. Meanwhile, Filipina star standout Alex Ayala continues to draw attention at the Indian Wells Open as she carries her strong form into round of 16 clash against world number 14 Linda Noskova. Carlo de Peña has the latest updates.
The World Athletics Indoor Championships is set to take place from March 20 to 22 in Torun, Poland, with Ireland sending a competitive squad aiming for strong performances on the global stage. Leading the team is Kate O'Connor, who enters the meet after winning silver in the pentathlon at last year's championships and another silver in the heptathlon at the World Championships in Tokyo. She also secured gold at the University Games and bronze at the European Indoor Championships. Joining the lineup are Nick Griggs and Andrew Koskaren in the men's 3,000 meters, while 5-time European medalist Mark English will compete in the 800 meters. Also representing Ireland are Sarah Levine in the women's 60-meter hurdles, along with sprinters Bori Akinola and Lauren Roy in the 60 meters. The Indian Wells Open, often called tennis' fifth Grand Slam, continues to draw packed crowds at Stadium 1 as top players battle for a spot in the quarterfinals. Among the standout performers is Alex Ayala, who advanced to the round of 16 after a dominant 6-2, 2-0 victory over American star Coco Gauff. The 20-year-old Filipina now faces world number 14 Linda Noskova for a place in the quarterfinals. The two previously met in the juniors, including the 2020 French Open girls singles, where Ayala pulled off a comeback win. If she advances, Ayala could meet either world number 7 Jasmine Paolini or Australia's Talia Gibson in the next round. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña bringing you the latest sports news.
And before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the sun. Winning and losing begin in the mind, and your mind is the womb of your faith. And that's all for this edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Andrea Santos. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.